Right, I'm Nick from the Lakeside Fitness Studio, here today to give you my easy 3-step guide to weight loss. First of all, why should you listen to me? Firstly, I'm not just a personal trainer who's always just been in very good shape my entire life. I actually had to lose weight myself. I was quite a bulky 15 stone 3/4 and I wanted to get down to a much leaner 12 stone for like a practice kind of photo shoot. Secondly, I've had around 35 people lose up to 10 kilos with this step-by-step program, kind of more in that lose weight, tone up category, where they maybe don't have quite so much weight to lose. Thirdly, I've had around 20 people lose between 10 kilos and 3.5 stone using this method. And not only that, I've equipped them with the knowledge to then keep it off for life. Fourthly, in that, I have 3 people with medically diagnosed underactive thyroid, slow metabolisms, and using the exact same method, we got exactly the same results, good weight loss, and everything they wanted. Okay, so firstly, it's about understanding what comprises your body weight. You've got 3 things. You have the calories consumed, everything that passes your lips, be it food, be it drink. You have calories burnt. You have your base metabolic rate, okay, which is just how much calories your body needs to just exist. Okay, if you were to lie on the floor and do nothing, how many calories does your body just naturally burn? Okay. The reason why I'm including that is because it's the #1 reason that people come to me and say I can't lose weight on my own, is because they look to the metabolism, they say I'm getting older, it's because of my gender, it's my time of life, whatever. But I'm here to tell you today that you are in control of your total metabolism. So let's start the easy 3-step process. Okay, a couple of things just before we get going. First of all, do not get disheartened if you don't lose weight immediately. It is a marathon, not a sprint. Okay, what we're trying to do is establish new healthy habits that will keep this weight off you long term. If you're doing anything too drastic, like you're cutting out everything that you like, it is the fastest way to fail, because at some point that craving for those things that you like is going to build up and build up and build up till one day you'll break. And also, even if you are mentally strong enough to get through that and not cave into your things that you crave, what do you do once you've then lost the weight? Do you just go back to eating what you were before? It's a case of we haven't established new healthy habits, which is what we're trying to do. So to further that point, just because you're having a chocolate bar does not mean you can't lose weight. At the end of the day, if I need 1,500 calories to lose weight, if I have 1,500 calories in beer and chocolate, I am still going to lose weight. It is an energy equation, okay? Admittedly, it's not what I'd recommend because the quality of the results may not be as good. Like you may have more cellulite, less muscle tone if you're just eating beer and chocolate. However, just know that you can include it and still lose weight. However, my 100-gram example, just to put things into perspective, yes, you can include things you like, but just understand what might be in those things. 100 grams of chicken breast, about 94 calories. 100 grams of pure carbs, so the same weight sat in your stomach, so pure carbs, something like like sugars, 400 calories. 100 grams of pure fat, 900 calories. So the same weight sat in your stomach can be 90 calories or 900 calories, depending on the content of that. With that in mind, moving on. Okay, so to start with, step #1, what you're going to do is you need to do 3 things for me. You need to increase your metabolism, so you need to up your activity, okay? Ways you can do this: try a new hobby that's active. Do whatever hobby you are doing, but just do it more. Do personal training, do classes, do at-home workouts or join the gym. So those are your options in terms of burning calories. Now we need to just have a little look at the calories consumed, okay? So in step 1 of the program, we're not calorie counting, nothing like that. Just make some good healthy choices through the week. If you're queuing up for petrol and you'd normally pinch a chocolate bar, just be like, I'm going to leave it this time. You know, if you have fast food, try at least half your consumption of it. Alcohol, maybe try half your consumption, or go for a slightly lower calorie one. So you know, if you're a beer drinker, maybe go for your wine. It will be less. It's because it's shorter and stronger. It's going to be less in calories. And then if you're a wine drinker, maybe look at your skinny G&Ts. You know, just simple things like that. You know, but these substitutes have got to be substitutes you actually like in replacement of it. Otherwise, it's just not going to last. If you feel like you're depriving yourself, it's not going to work. Okay, you need to find replacements that work for you. For example, for me, I had a bit of a Pepsi Max habit. Okay, there's 0 calories in it, but largely it's probably not the best for you, having all those artificial sweeteners and stuff like that. For me, switching it for lime and soda has been, I really like lime and soda. Ice, bit of lime in it, bit of mint in it or something like that. It tastes really good. And it stopped my consumption of Pepsi Max, and I don't miss Pepsi Max now, as an example. So, and then thirdly, what you're going to do is you need to do a regular weigh-in for me. So what you're going to do, Thursday morning, before you've eaten or drunk anything, you're going to jump on the scales, okay? We need to track what's happening week to week. Don't get on the scales on Monday morning after the weekend, because no matter how good you're being, your weekend will always be different. So your body's likely to respond differently to that, and you're quite likely to weigh heavier on the Monday morning, okay? I tend to pick Thursday morning because we're into our weekly habit, okay? And we're back into our normal pattern, and it's a good, accurate day to weigh in on. Also, the morning on an empty stomach is really good because I can vary by 5 to 6 pounds during the day, depending on when I ate or how much I've drunk last. So you could actually be losing weight and then get disheartened because you think you've gone up 4 pounds, but it's actually just the time of day you've weighed. Okay, so step 1, to summarise, you need to up your calories burnt, do your hobby more, take on a new class, do a new hobby. Personal training is a great one because you can get around any, like knee injuries and things, etc. Okay. Number 2, you need to just make some good healthy choices through the week. Okay, just think, I'm going to go for that rather than that because it'll probably be a bit better for me. Things like that. And then get your regular weigh in, because you might find that this is enough to start losing the weight, okay? And remember, we are only after 1 pound a week weight loss. 1 pound a week weight loss means you're in a 500 calorie a day deficit, okay? So if women's RDA, 2,000 calories to have per day. In order to lose 1 pound a week, you need to be at 1,500, let's say, as an example, for the average person, okay? If you start losing 2 pounds a week or 3 pounds a week, 2 pounds a week means you're in a 1,000 calorie deficit. 3 pounds a week, you're in a 1,500 calorie deficit. That is massive, and it is going to be so hard to maintain. So I just recommend 1 pound a week, and that's just sustainable. Slow and steady wins the race. A good example of this is someone who came to me. She wanted to lose some weight for her wedding. She had people laughing at her in the office because she was only doing 1 pound a week. A lot of big ladies in there were saying, big men and women in there were saying, "Oh, I could lose 4 pounds I could lose 8 pounds in 2 weeks." Well, the truth of the matter is, it's got to be sustainable. Otherwise, you'll do this ballooning. You'll drop loads of weight, put it straight back on. Drop loads of weight, put it straight back on. She kept going, and her weeks added up, and she hit her wedding weight that she wanted 4 months before her wedding day, and she couldn't believe that simplifying it made it so much easier. Okay, so step number 1 is underway. Okay, you've weighed in on the Thursday, you've made healthy choices, you've upped your calorie burn, and you weigh back in the next Thursday morning, you've lost 1 pound. Brilliant, that's all we want. Do the same again the next week. If you haven't lost the weight, what you're going to do is you're going to go to step 2. Step 2 of my program is very similar to step 1. Keep that calorie burn up, keep the regular weigh-in going, because we need to know what's happening to your weight on a weekly basis, okay? But this time what you're going to do is you are going to make a paper diary of everything you consume, okay? because there's obviously something is just not quite right, okay? So you might be having a little bit more than you think you're having, okay? So writing it down, just the act of writing it down, not adding up and counting calories just yet, will make you more accountable, will make you feel more individuated, and make you realise that, oh, I don't want to eat that because I don't want to have to write it down, okay? And again, so just do that, write it down each day. Just stick to kind of large, medium, small. So I had tea, 1 sugar, sandwich, piece of fruit for lunch. I had a large, shepherd's pie serving in the evening, whatever, had a few biscuits or whatever, just note down everything you're having and just keep a track of it, okay? Weigh back in the next Thursday. Have you lost any weight? If you have lost that pound, you now have 7 days worth of menus to choose from, okay? And then just do the same again. Pick those. If you had a cookie on Friday, have that cookie again. You lost the pound in the week, that's fine, okay? It's obviously your total calories for the whole week went down overall. Okay, so step 2 didn't work for you, okay? You've upped your calorie burn, you made your paper diary, and you still didn't lose the pound in that week. What you're gonna do is, there is something in your diet that you are underestimating the calorie content of it. Whether it's what you're cooking with, whether you're cooking with a lot of butter or coconut oil, or oil in general, or you're having deep fried things, where there's a lot of fat in there that's really sending your calories up without you knowing. We need to get you to understand what's in your food. So, unfortunately, you're gonna have to go down the route of MyFitnessPal or a calorie counting app, okay? It's got a barcode on it. It's really not as hard as people make it out to be, okay? There's a barcode scanner on the app. You split the product packet is 200 grams. You're saying, right, I'm having half of that, so you just enter in 100 grams and it calculates the calories for you. It really doesn't take much time and effort, and and what you've got to do at the end of the day is, if you really want to lose weight, how bad do you want to lose weight? Do you just fancy losing a bit of weight, or do you really want to lose some weight? Okay, so what you're going to do, you're going to track your calories for every single thing that goes through your lips that you consume for 7 days with that weigh-in. So you're going to weigh in on the Thursday morning again, like you have been the whole way through this project. Okay, actually total the calories. What we need a 7-day average, okay, of what you're actually consuming. Okay, and the likelihood is, within a couple of days, what you'll find is, crikey, I had no idea how many calories was in that, was in X, whatever it is, Then you're going to calculate your calories all 7 days, weigh back in on the Thursday morning, then see what's happening, okay? Because now we can work it out precisely, okay? If you were honest and you added in every single thing and you did it correctly, this is the most accurate way of losing weight, okay? This is exactly how I did it. I did go to the calorie counting to start with. Basically, so what I worked out in my week, I weighed in the Thursday, I added up all my calories, okay? And I weighed back in on the Thursday. I didn't lose any weight in that week, okay? And then I worked out that I was having an average of 2,600 calories a day, okay? So, drop that by 500 a day. I worked out that I then needed to, if I stuck to 2,100 per day, I would lose 1 pound a week. What I actually did was I dropped it to 1,900 calories and saved up 200 calories for 6 days. So 6 times 200 calories is 1,200 calories. And I added that on to 1 day. So Monday, 1,900 calories. Tuesday, 1,900. Wednesday, 1,900. Thursday, Friday, 1,900 calories. Saturday, I could add my 1,200 calories onto my 2,100 calories. So I could have 3,300 calories on a Saturday and then 1,900 calories on the Sunday. Okay, this way I could work in, so I lost 15 3/4 stone, down to 12 stone, 1 pound a week like clockwork, and I was still having a large Domino's pizza and box of cookies every single Saturday. I worked that meal in rather than taking out things I craved. Okay, this is the benefit of calorie counting. Okay, you can work meals in rather than taking everything out you like, and it really worked for me. Okay, so this is the third and final stage of the step-by-step process. If after step 3 you're still not losing weight, okay, it's just a couple of things I'm going to go over. Okay, so first of all, if you aren't losing, you may need to just take a rain check in terms of your mental state, of whether you're ready to lose weight or not. You know, are you going through a hard time? Have you had something happen to a family member, or something hard you're going through? And because, you know, these things do happen, because, you know, if you're going through a lot mentally, this can be too much to then add on top of that. So what you might want to do is go back to step 1, just keep the upped activity going. This would be good for your mindset anyway. It can help relieve stress and give you a bit of you time on your own, where you're just not thinking about anything but but the exercise. But secondly, maybe don't actually try and lose weight. Maybe try and not put any on, and just upping the exercise and staying the same weight is still going to change your body. You know, a 14 stone person who exercises will be a very different shape to a 14 stone person who doesn't exercise at all. So if you actually just give it time, your body will change naturally on its own anyway. And then maybe when you're in a better place mentally, go back to actually trying to drop the weight. Secondly, if you're struggling with the weight loss and you've gone through all 3 stages and you haven't lost anything yet, one of my clients did one thing. What she did is she found it really hard to stop, say, pinching chocolate and things and having little nibbles and things like that, and stuff that she wasn't really realizing that were adding up. So what she did a detox week. So she did a week where she cut out all chocolate completely, and she said for her it really helped her stop craving chocolate. So there's another little thing I'll share that worked for another client. But apart from that, there's still this 3-stage step program worked for her, but she just started it off with a week detox. Thirdly, make sure you're being honest about everything. You know, make sure you're accounting absolutely everything, you know, and just because you just pinched something here doesn't mean you can't count it. And make sure you're just doing, you know, the calculations right if you have to get to the 3rd stage. And then also, if you are doing it correctly and you're just struggling, or you're not doing it correctly because you are struggling so much, you know, it's not a set in stone rule that you have to lose a pound every week. I had one client where, you know, she did like her food and stuff like that, and it just worked better for her that she just lost 1 pound every 3 weeks. I know a lot of people might snigger at that, but give it 10 months like she did, and she lost a stone overall. And what was really good was, you know, she'd stopped beating herself up and feeling so guilty about every time she did have something she maybe wasn't supposed to have. But 10 months went by and she still dropped a stone overall, but more importantly, she was now enjoying life and understanding that it was okay to go and have things she enjoyed. But it's a case of, like, you know, it's just weight loss is going to be a bit slower for me. So just remember, you can just refer back to those rules, you know, bear them in mind. Don't get disheartened if it doesn't change immediately. Remember, the exercise alone is going to change your body anyway, and you're going to be feeling better, much better, and you'll be getting much healthier because of it. And, you know, if the weight loss takes 4 or 5 weeks to really get the hang of it, or, you know, even some clients I've trained for 2 years, I've shown them the step-by-step guide, they haven't got it, then something major's happened in their life, like their friends died, or their mum's, you know, or something, you know, something horrendous has happened, and they've all of a sudden gone bang, and now they're suddenly in the mindset that they're completely focused, and then using the same rules, they then do lose weight. Lastly, how to keep the weight off. I just, you know, use my week to keep me where I am, and then I just do whatever I want at the weekend, and I enjoy myself at the weekend. But what I do is I keep the weigh-in going, not necessarily every week, but, you know, every fortnight or once a month, and I know the weight I'm happy at, and then I just see how far away I am from it. If I go up by 2 or 3 pounds, I don't really care. But if I start to go up by 5 or 6, I just go, right, I just throw in a couple of good days. So I go back down to kind of my diet calorie level, and just for a couple of days, and you'll find that weight will just go just straight back off, back to where you want it to be. And that is just a way to then kind of keep it off long term. It's just keeping an eye on it basically, so it doesn't slip up without you realising, and it doesn't just slowly creep on like a couple of pounds a year, and then before you know it, 5 years have gone by and you've put it all back on. And just to further to that is like all my clients who have lost weight and then stay slim, is the thing that they keep doing is they know they have a weight in mind that they're happy at. They go, right, at that weight, you know, I feel good, I feel like I can wear this, you know, whatever their goal is. And they just keep that weight in mind, and then they just keep an eye on it every couple of weeks or month, and keep the activity and the fitness going, and yeah, and they end up keeping it off for life. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that today. That is my 3-step process for losing weight. This is just my opinion on what I do. It's what I recommend to my clients. They've had great results, I've had great results, and I hope you will too. And I hope this reaches as many people as possible and equips as many people, or even other personal trainers, with just more knowledge on how to help their clients, and hopefully just help as many people as possible. To support the channel, like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications to see when the next videos are coming out. And apart from that, I will be having some more videos to try and sort of simplify some really rubbish information that's out on the internet, you know, about carbs, about fats, about protein, about contingency plans. There's another tip, you know, in terms of this 3-step process. You know, what happens if you're doing this process, it's all going well, and then one day you lose your mind and you just eat a whole packet of chocolate fingers. Again, I've been there. I'm not just someone who's always been in good shape. I did this myself, and I know the real struggles of it, and this is what I did to combat moments like that. Also to think about things like alcohol, etc., and loads of different things that will be coming up, and there'll be much shorter videos than this. Okay, hope you enjoyed it. That's all from me, and see you in the next video.